Hello. A common question I get is whether to demolish my existing house and build completely new from scratch, or to um, restore and renovate my existing property and make it become like a new customized house. And there are pros and cons for each aspect, depending on the situation, of course. So, if you already have an existing house, one of the things I would like to consider is the existing foundation. Is it in good shape? Is the basement height sufficient? So, if, for example, the basement height is not sufficient, like you have 6 or 7 feet of basement ceiling height, headroom, you're gonna want to underpin the basement, which is the process of building underneath the foundation with additional foundations. It's done on several stages, and this is quite a costly process. For a small basement, you're talking about like around $50,000. So in that case, I would definitely recommend demolishing and building new. Another aspect is the existing house, how far it is from the property boundaries and setbacks. So if the existing foundation is positioned in a way to maximize the building area once the project is completed, then it's not a bad idea to keep the existing foundations, and you're going to be saving on the foundations. So you might be saving $50,000 to $70,000 bill when you do that. But if the, for example, existing foundation is crooked and is not aligned with the property lines, or is set back more than the required setback, in such certain cases, yeah, it makes more sense just to demolish and build new. One other aspect is that if you're planning to sell the house in a few years, when you list it, and if it's a home restoration project, you're going to still show the original construction date. So if it was a bungalow that was built in the 70s, for example, and you did a complete restoration and renovation, when you list it on the MLS, it's still going to be shown as construction date 1970 something. Whereas if you demolish completely new and build new, then you will show the new date, and this may add value to you. Some people like to do restoration projects only, although they are investors and they intend to turn it around and sell it later, because there are more provisions to mitigate the taxes, and possibly mitigate the amount of capital gain tax. However, this is not always the case, and this is kind of a complicated subject, and it doesn't always work. So Canada Revenue Agency is very particular, and they keep a close eye on these projects, and it's very common for us to get calls from this year verifying that we have designed this project and ask us for copies of design bills and so forth. So it might work sometimes, it might not work some other times. And of course, one other aspect is, if you're building on an existing foundation, you don't have as much flexibility as you would with a completely new custom home building it from scratch. Design cost wise, it's probably the same, but sometimes, surprisingly, when you do a home restoration project, it might actually cost you more than a custom home, because there's more creativity, more work. You also have to take detailed measurements and scans of the existing building, verify what's going on. In terms of construction cost, if the addition is not substantial, it might be cheaper to do a restoration project with a small addition. But if it's substantial and you're doing a complete gut and a complete new renovation, and you have to do things like underpinning, reinforcement on foundation, and like reinforcement of some structural elements, it might become more expensive sometimes when you do a home restoration and a renovation project. So it really depends on the situation, and if you are considering a project like this and you're not sure, please DM me, and I'm more than happy to answer any of your technical questions, and I hope this helps.